Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the Action Force Desert Steel Brigade figure by Valiverse. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so tonight got a really awesome product review for you guys. This is the Action Force Desert Steel Brigade from Series 4. I'm a huge fan of Action Force. I really like the Steel Brigade. I had the opportunity a few years ago to help work on the file cards for these figures. And I have to say, I am really impressed with what I'm seeing right now. This is the first time that I've actually had one of the figures in hand that is in the blister packaging versus in the original Series 1 box. Now, if you don't know anything about the Steel Brigade, they are the QRF, or Quick Reaction Force element for Action Force Special Missions Unit. It's comprised of 80 shooters who are highly trained in small arms, small team tactics. Their mission is to go in and provide support for the actual assault element. So, taking a look at the packaging, you've got a digital camo card back. I think that is unreal. That really looks awesome. You got the Action Force banner at the top, the banner for the figure name and series over on the left hand side, and of course you see the figure and all of the accessories inside the blister. On the back of the packaging, you've got an obligatory product shot of the figure in an action pose. Over to the right, you've got the other figures in Series 4. Down below that, you've got the QR code and your action points. Over on the bottom left center, you've got the Steel Brigade collectible cutout file card. And their file names, of course, are classified under their security roster. It tells you their primary MOS, 18 Bravo through Foxtrot and Special Forces, secondary skills, and it lists some of the SQIs of things: Pathfinder, Military Freefall, Jumpmaster, Air Assault, Birthplace. They're from all over. Rank and affiliation, Action Force. It says the Republic of Texas had always been an important piece on the chessboard. It connected New Colonia's advancements from the two coasts. However, Texas was not going to join New Colonia willingly. This republic could not be abandoned, so each side threw all their resources in this fight. The Action Force units were caught in the middle between New Colonia's northern forces and the Mexico border. It was time to bring in reinforcements. The full might of the Steel Brigade was deployed through the Gulf of Mexico to stop the advancing New Colonial forces and give Action Force the upper hand. With their extreme weather training, the Steel Brigade was able to weaken the New Colonial forces in the dry Texas deserts. There was no choice for the New Colonial forces but to retreat. The Steel Brigade can turn the tide of any battle, no matter the conditions. Alright, so here we have the Desert Steel Brigade figure outside of the packaging. So let's bring him in closer so you guys can see the attention to detail on his head sculpt. And one of the things I'll point out right off the bat about this action figure that I really like over Series 1 version is the OD paint scheme for the helmet. It doesn't have that bright metallic color on the mandible and the side of the helmet, on the cheek plate. And I really like that because you're not going to see a bright metallic color like that in combat. You want subdued colors that aren't easily visible. Even the gunmetal metallic color on the body armor there is subdued. And you can see the Steel Brigade emblem there on the upper left armor plate. He's got a pull-out fixed blade dagger right here. Got some chem lights here, 2 removable 30-round mags for a scar. You got silencer code Maximum 9 sidearm and a thigh holster. We'll look at that more in detail in a moment. You got an IFAK and a drop thigh rig here. You can see his combat pants have integrated knee pads. And I really like the design of these boots where they don't have strings, they've got clasps. And those have been subdued on this over the Series 1 that also had the bright metallic. Hard knuckle combat gloves, integrated elbow pads in his combat shirt. He's got a removable fixed blade combat knife. That's also subdued this time around, where the blade was bright silver on the other one. This one's black. All of the buckles are subdued on this figure. All the way around, it just looks incredible. And you've got his harness, which is in the back. On some of the other ones it was in the front, but you would want this in the back unless he was rappelling with this, because you would hook your monkey tail onto this. One clip would go here, the other clip would go on the deck of the bird as they're going in, so that if they fall out, it'll snatch them and keep them close to the helicopter where they can be pulled back in. But I really like this figure. I think it looks really good. All right, so let's talk about articulation. Head and neck are on separate ball joints. Full range of motion on these figures, and you can see that. Forward and lateral movement at the shoulder. You got bicep rotation. Clearly visible butterfly joint, full range of motion. Upper arm rotation there. Double jointed elbows. Wrist swivel. And they do have wrist pivot. You can see that there. Torsos on a ball joint. You can see that. Full range of motion. I'll remove him from the display base. Forward and lateral movement, the thigh. You got, yeah, these aren't drop down thigh. Yeah, these are drop down thigh joints. Thigh rotation there. Double jointed knees, and these are really tight joints on this figure. And you've got lower leg rotation. There we go. And the foot will pivot as well as roll. I'm just speechless over this figure. It's just incredible all the way around. All right, let's talk about accessories. First and foremost, the action figure does include 4 sets of interchangeable hands. 4. For his primary weapon, he includes the FN Scar Mark 16 with the FN 40 grenade launcher. You can see it's got a holographic sight mounted to it, and that is a EOTech, and it's got the backup iron sights molded in. And look, it is ABS plastic. There's no warping, unlike every single weapon that Hasbro releases for the classified series. And it even has a removable 30-round magazine. Imagine that. Look at all the molded detail on here. The muzzles are open for blast effects. Reciprocating charging handle. Bolt release. Selector switch. Even the molded in button for the cheek riser for the stock extension. How cool is that? Now mind you, I don't like grenade launchers on all the rifles, but still, this is light years ahead of anything that Hasbro releases. Again, that's part of their perceived marketing strategy. There's no comparison. Also included is the Silencer Co. Maxim 9 pistol. This one is done in dark earth with a gray slide on the back. I like that. I think that looks really cool. I think some of their later versions of this actually have a micro red dot on it, but this is still a really cool sidearm. And it has to have this holster because it's designed specifically for this pistol with an integrated suppressor on it. You also get 2 removable 30-round mags for that rifle. And then you've got a fixed blade combat knife. You guys can see that it's got a molded gray handle, black blade. I really like the way this looks. I love the black over the original blade that was silver. You've got some serrations there on the top, blood groove on the side of the blade, finger guard. That's just really nasty. Imagine coming up behind one of the Crimson Shadow sentries, turning that horizontal, stabbing them in the lung, cutting them across the neck, stabbing them in the jugular, sending them on their way. Overall, this figure is incredible. Accessories, the articulation, the attention to detail, the design, packaging, the paint apps, all of it come together to make an incredible collectible and action figure. If you are a fan of Action Force, you definitely want to add this guy to your collection. You can see I have 2 of these. I plan on getting at least 2 more to troop build with. So there you have the Action Force Series 4 Desert Steel Brigade figure by Valiverse.